Berlin as a divided city back in the days during the Cold War.
A lot of things happened and we were in the middle of it. We don't have an East tradition, we don't have a Western tradition, we just have a Berlin tradition.
I think the city and Berlin are one.
Alba Berlin in these days is our first and our best team we have here in our town.
It shows how the city grew together.
The goal is not probably to win the EuroLeague, but it has to be eventually.
It is very difficult to beat a high-level team like Panathinaikos.
Our biggest goal is to be a legend.
Berlin is probably the most exciting city in the world.
It's really modern, really young town.
It's very multicultural. You can see lots of different people there.
It has everything that I could ask for in a city. I mean, from the food to the sights to going to see things.
Hi, my name is Sven Schulze from Alba Berlin. Now we are at the Brandenburg Gate. This is the city gate, actually.
Right now, I can't imagine a better place to live in Europe than Berlin.
In 1987, Mr. Ronald Reagan had a very famous speech in front of the Brandenburg Gate. If you can imagine it, you can do it here.
We are here in the former American sector. Berlin was divided in 4 parts after the Second World War, and after this we had here in the American sector a great sport activity program from the Americans.
All the GIs and the American guys, the military guys, all played basketball because they were more athletic, they were more aggressive, and that was, at least from my childhood, that also taught me so much in the game that, of course, the American influence helped me elevate my game to the next level.
You have to know the town was to 80% destroyed. It was very difficult to get in a sport recreation program, but it was one of the main topics of the Americans to bring sport to Germany, and naturally basketball. Alba Berlin in these days is our first and our best team we have here in our town. They push the basketball development in Berlin.
We started like a few, like me and some others, with a vision, very idealistic. I'm Marco Baldi. I'm the CEO of the club since its foundation. So I would say that we started with a lot of energy, high intensity, but with a vision. And the vision was always that we become a club which could be considered as an institution.
Wir beide haben eine Vision entwickelt und haben gesagt, ja, mit 5.000 da und 3.000 von dem, wir brauchen einen Sponsor, einen Namenssponsor. Das war der alte Franz Schweitzer, dem Eigentümer von der Alba AG. Wir gehen mal hin und sagen, 1 Million und wir nennen uns Alba. Und dann hat der Typ gesagt, mach ich. Und so ging es los.
I'm Deion Thompson, power forward of Alba Berlin. Welcome to our gym here in the heart of Berlin, Schutzstraße. And I'm going to show you around, get to see us practice a little bit, and see how we live here in Berlin on a day-to-day basis. So let's go. When you hear the name Alba Berlin, you know what you're going to get. A very organized group, a very professional basketball team.
Because my father, he had like a huge interest for sport, and I remember more than 20 years ago he told us, now I'm supporting basketball.
Alba Berlin is probably the most successful team we have in Germany in the past, and it's still one of the best teams that we have in Germany.
Winning 7 titles in a row in Germany made the club very successful and very famous and very popular in the city.
The fans of Alba Berlin is like no other I've ever seen. I mean, they support us when we're winning, they support us when we're losing.
Hello, that's the Basketball Hall of Fame of Alba Berlin.
Hello, my name is Henry Voss and I'm a big basketball fan, especially Alba Berlin.
You see a lot of shoes, that's all original shoes from players, from former Alba players or national team players.
These fans, you know, they are really standing behind their team. They are coming in a big number also to watch us playing away.
They're pretty much able to raise the level of intensity for the team everywhere.
I'm personally, I'm so crazy. When you ask other people which don't have something to do with basketball, they say you're absolutely crazy. We went in the Euro Cup, the second important European Cup. Volcano Eyjafjallajökull erupted and there was no planes and flights allowed in whole Europe. And we went there by bus, 28 hours. It was so tremendous that the other team was really thankful to us that we were there, the fans, and that also our team played a good game. When we are in a good mood and the team is in a good mood, we are really enthusiastic. We have games, we are so loud because it's the O2 World is a big arena, the biggest arena in basketball arena in Germany.
We're in the O2 World, a multifunctional arena, one of the most modern arenas in the world.
We have permanent ice. And we cover the ice with a cover that is about 4 centimeters thick, and we put the court of the basketball court on top of this cover.
Alba is one of the top basketball brands in Germany, one of the top brands in Europe. So does ice hockey. So we are very proud to have those 2 top brands in their respective sports for Europe in our building.
It's a pretty big gym to fill, and I think they're doing a pretty good job.
They are not the wildest, they are not the loudest, but they are unbelievably loyal.
Berlin is a great city because it has the best of everything, from the food to the people to the sights.
Sports, family, areas, party, everything. It's a complete city.
Berlin is the best place to be because it's home.
There's no other place to stay for me than Berlin in Germany.
I really love Berlin.
Berlin is a part of me and I'm a part of Berlin. And since I love myself, I love Berlin. We are here at the Berlin Wall, which separated my country, Germany, for quite a long time, I think like 30 years or something like this, between East and West.
Na, ich habe natürlich eine besondere Verbindung zum Osten gehabt, weil ich selbst aus Magdeburg gekommen bin. Und erst als dann die Mauer gebaut wurde, hat sich doch sehr viel geändert. Ich konnte meine Eltern nicht mehr besuchen in Magdeburg und wir waren plötzlich eine Insel hier. Nicht?
I'm from this generation. I did not expect the wall to fall down. I accepted that there is an east and there is a west.
Here was the line, basically the wall. So west, east, you know, democracy, communism, the Stones, Honecker.
I was 11 when the wall came down, and of course I was pretty young, but I could notice that something really big happened.
So we all were on the wall and trying to tear it down and helping other people to come over.
We were part of history, you know, and that's very unique. That's something you remember for the rest of your life.
We kind of reflect the new Berlin. There's no east, there's no west. Anyone is welcome, because exactly when the wall fell, our club saw.
And it's really nice to see how, you know, West and East connected, because Alba Berlin, when they started off, they played in the western part of Berlin in Charlottenburg, and now, you know, they're right here on the east part. And I think it shows, it's a good symbol for the entire city, because it shows how, you know, the city grew together.
Now we go to the Reichstag. This is where the German parliament is. It was destroyed also during the World War II. They rebuilt it. Now it's the German parliament. In the back you can see the Berlin TV tower, where you also can go on top and have maybe a coffee, because it turns around in 360 degrees. It's a very nice view over Berlin, and it's at the Alexanderplatz, the TV tower.
Now we'll take you up to the highest building in Europe that is open for the public constantly. Look at this. This is going to be the height we're going to reach in meters. So now we're at the top level of the Fernsehturm Berlin. Unfortunately, it's a cloudy day. You can't see very much outside, but usually you can see 60 kilometers all over Berlin. For me as a tall guy, it's nice to be at the top level. You know, the Fernsehturm is on the former east side of Berlin. There's another, it's called the Funkturm, which is on the west side, and it's a product of history of also competing West and East, and you know, East Germany back then had to show that they can do the same things.
On our sport department, we are based on two pillars. One is the National League, and the second one is the EuroLeague, the best basketball product in Europe.
This week we will have to compete with one of the best teams in Europe, Panathinaikos.
We are from the budget and then from I guess the success a little smaller than Panathinaikos or Real Madrid, and but when we play those teams we have basically nothing to lose, and we can play just free.
Two guys from Cesca is the whole budget of Berlin. And of course it's hard to compensate.
It's obviously difficult to have very talented players, but we take the mentality of our coach, who is a fighter, and we fight to the end of every game and play hard.
For being in this club, never had small goals. With a certain good investment, not just financial investment, also in the whole club, to be more competitive. I think it was also a goal for this club.
Of course, it's great to be part of this top 16, but being part of this, you want to win. I think if we keep on doing the right things, it will be possible for us in the next, 10, 20 years to be there.
I think you have to see it on long term. What Alba does is going to schools and working with a lot of smaller kids will take some fruits long term.
Same, go around the cone. All right, the One Team project is through EuroLeague, and it's just a chance for the teams to teach life skills to kids from less fortunate situations.
As a person or as a company, we want every single youngs be a part of these activities. We're serving the people, we're touching them. But coming with the basketball in the EuroLeague, it's giving good feelings,
We have a structure where step by step we are building players, and the idea is the next generation of German national players should come out of this.
It's great for us because we're fortunate that we play basketball for a living, and it shows these kids that if they work hard and dream big, anything can happen.
Here in Berlin Mitte, it's really exciting. You have all these backyards. You see this backyard here, and once you jump from one backyard to the next, it's a totally different world. You see amazing things.
We are here in the Haus Schwarzenberg, and I show you the best show in town, the Monster Cabinet. Follow me.
It's a city that allows to have your own style, offers a lot of possibilities, opportunities to anyone.
Ich habe jetzt nicht so viele andere Städte kennengelernt, aber ich denke schon, dass es die Freiheit immer noch gibt. Also glücklicherweise.
Hello, I will show you my little cosmos on the third level. I'm painter, inventor and percussionist. You're welcome. Here in Berlin you have much more possibilities to work as an artist.
The people here are crazy in a good way, and it never gets boring.
It's a very interesting city. It has lots of subcultures. There's so many things to do and to see, and so many people to meet. It's a pretty amazing city. Hi, my name is Thomas Pletzinger. I wrote a book about Berlin basketball. When I was a kid, I always dreamt of a career in professional basketball, and I almost made it, but then I didn't make it. And after 15 years, I decided to really see what professional basketball is about. So I spent one season with Berlin. I was there all the time. I was relaxing with them. At the same time, I was working out with them. So I tried to get the full experience of a professional basketball player or a professional basketball coach.
At the beginning, I didn't like him at all because we were in the locker room, after the game, and we were like, the coach, whatever, the referees. And then you look to the side and there's a guy sitting there, writing everything down.
We wanted to show you around our practice facility where we spend a majority of our time here in Berlin. The first place is a training room. Everybody gets taped before practice. Anything you need, our trainers are very good in taking care of us and making sure our bodies are prepared to go to work every day.
After 2 weeks or so, after training camp, I was a fly on the wall. Nobody ever really recognized me. I was simply there.
We have a great time in here and just fooling around after practice, and this is our home.
Professional basketball mostly is perceived by the audience as something on stage, and the reality of a professional basketball player or coach is 91% backstage.
You will work hard, you will be in the gym 7 days, you will have no weekend off. Sometimes people forget about how exhausting it is, but the guys on the team, to make friends, I think this is the greatest aspect about playing professional basketball.
Berlin is great because there's so much to see.
Anyone can live in peace and can live exactly in the way he wants.
Everybody can be themselves. Nobody cares about how you look, what you are, who you are, what you do.
In Berlin, you can get all what you want.
It's exciting, it's young, it's the most exciting city in Europe.
Berlin is a great city because it's basketball.
Berlin is the best city in Europe.
We are now in the middle of Kreuzberg. This is a neighborhood well known for Turkish people who moved here in the late 60s. This neighborhood changed a lot in the last 10-15 years, and actually it became really trendy.
Kreuzberg is pretty much in the center of Berlin. It used to be or is where a lot of Turkish immigrants came and lived. Like I said earlier already, there are some parts of the city where people don't speak German. It's all Turkish. So it's an exciting place to be. It's always something new. Day never repeats itself. And definitely lots of good food. Here's a typical place. Feels like Istanbul, feels like Turkey. This is why we brought Irma. This is a typical place that you are in Berlin, but you speak Turkish here. So I don't speak Turkish, so he'll translate for us, and we'll see what we're going to order.
Panathinaikos is one of the big teams in Europe, so it will be very hard.
He's a serious opponent. I expect, also from us, a good game, because what I see, the team improving, from game to game.
Panathinaikos is one of the best teams in the last 10 years. You will not get many chances against these high-level teams, but if there are chances, we have to be ready.
Alba is a big outsider against one of the best teams in the EuroLeague.
It's not enough to play 100%. You have to play 120% to have a chance to win that game. Usually they have no chance.
It is very difficult to beat a high-level team like Panathinaikos. You have to get a good day and good rhythm, first in defense and then confidence in offense too.
We're still waiting for the first top 16 win. Sometime this will happen.
It's a tough game, top 16, all very good teams, and we are maybe the weakest team in our group.
We give the role of favorite to the opponents.
The goal is not probably to win the EuroLeague, but it has to be eventually.
It's tough, but we play good, and when we hit the big shots, then we can win, but Panathinaikos hits every big shot, especially this week.
Of course, when you lose, you're always disappointed, and you'd rather like to win than to lose. But we have to take the positive things out of this and keep our heads up and look for the next game.
We competed from beginning to end, so coach is happy with our effort, but it's still tough to lose a close game.
Of course they have triple budget, of course they have the better players, of course they have this, they have that, and it's great to compete with them, and we will beat them.
Berlin is a great city.
That's a place that comforts you with that attitude towards life.
We kind of reflect the new Berlin. There's no east, there's no west. Anyone is welcome, because exactly when the wall fell, our club soared.
Alba is always, these 4 letters are always more than every individual.
We're still waiting for the first top 16 win, and sometime this will happen.
Maybe in some years we will not perform as expected, but we will survive. We will take a breather and we will attack again.